Thank you for tuning in to HardNews TV4. I'm your host, Terri Lynn, and this is the channel where truth is like archaeology, and every day we're digging for it. Today, September 30th, 2020, and this is my top 10 for today. So this article is from yesterday from Fox 5, New York. Mask patrols will find people refusing to wear mask coverings in New York City. So with all the problems going on in New York City, everybody fleeing, rich people fleeing, riots, chaos, job losses, they are going to have mask patrols to go after the people not wearing their mask. New York City. In announcing a testing blitz to take place in emerging coronavirus hotspots in New York City, Mayor Bill de Blasio also warned that there is going to be an enforcement blitz. 9 zip codes in the city are seeing a spike in new COVID-19 cases. The mayor announced during a Tuesday morning briefing that there will be a lot more community outreach in those areas, including hundreds of so-called Trace Corps members and hundreds of additional city agency workers in the neighborhoods. So they've got all the manpower to put on the street to go after those pesky mask refuse wear people, but no manpower to go after the rioters and the people destroying everything. Patrols will start issuing fines to people who refuse to wear masks even after being offered a free mask, and warning that not wearing a mask will result in a fine. So, why not, Mr. Mayor, just send more people out of New York City? People leaving in droves anyway. So if you're telling people, hey, we're going to be rough with y'all, we're coming after y'all for not wearing your mask, we're going to fine y'all, they'll just leave. Look at the next paragraph. This will happen aggressively. Clearly, our goal, of course, is to give everyone a free face mask and get them to wear it. We just want you to submit to what we tell you to do, okay? But look at the word. This will happen aggressively. Now, this is a New York mayor using the adjective aggressively. So what is aggressively going to look like? Now, article number 2, y'all know Elon Musk, Mr. Neuralink, Mr. Tesla, driverless cars, wanting to go to outer space, build colonies in outer space. Elon Musk, the third richest person in the world. Well, look what he says about the vaccines. Article number 2. This is from the Business Insider. Elon Musk says that he and his family will not be getting a coronavirus vaccine when it becomes available. So, Elon Musk, the third richest person in the world, who hobnobs with other global elites, is refusing to vaccinate his family when the vaccination comes out. The first little paragraph right there says Tesla CEO Elon Musk said in a new interview that he and his family were not planning to get a COVID-19 vaccine when one becomes available. We should take note. This is article number 3, and it's from September 4th from USA Today. 2/3 of Americans say they will not get the COVID-19 vaccine when it's first available. USA Today Suffolk Poll shows 2/3 of Americans say they won't. 2/3 of U.S. voters say they won't try to get a coronavirus vaccine as soon as it becomes available, and 1 in 4 say they don't want to ever get it, according to a new USA Today poll released the same week. Okay? I don't plan on being anyone's guinea pig. I don't plan on getting it at all. So now remember, the military is going to be the one delivering the vaccines. It's about to get interesting, but there's a lot of people who do not free will want to get it. Article number 4 is from Zero Hedge. It says, British MP urges mandatory COVID vaccinations for anyone wanting to travel. A Conservative MP has called for mandatory coronavirus vaccination certificates distributed by the British Army that will determine whether people will be allowed to travel internationally. So they're getting their army involved in it. This is from September 29th, from yesterday. During a debate in the British Parliament last night, MP Tobias Ellwood urged the Prime Minister to have the British Armed Forces oversee that COVID-19 vaccination rollout process. So, isn't it interesting that countries are wanting their armies to do this instead of their health departments? Now, Article number 5, natural gas prices set to soar as first coal blast to strike eastern U.S. next week. We know that California's been having rolling blackouts. We know Venezuela's been having blackouts. So I'm predicting that in the coldest of days, we're going to be seeing people not have power. And then some people might not be able to afford it because the gas prices are set to soar, while people don't have jobs or incomes and facing evictions. Article number 6, this is from AP News about biometrics. Amazon sees broad audience for its palm recognition technology. And have y'all noticed everywhere we go now, it's we're using our hands, like you put your hands underneath the soap dispenser in a public bathroom. You put your hand in front of the towel dispenser in the bathroom. You put your hand underneath the faucet and you're touchless and it comes on. They're conditioning us to use our hands. Okay, let's see what this article is about. Amazon has introduced new palm recognition technology in a pair of Seattle stores and sees a broader potential audience in stadiums, offices, and other gated or secured locations. Customers at the store near Amazon campus in Washington can flash a palm for entry into secured areas and to buy goods. The company chose palm recognition, according to Dilip Kumar, Vice President of Physical Retail and Technology, because it's more private than other biometric technology, and a person would be required to purposefully flash a palm at the Amazon One device to engage. And it's contactless, which we think customers will appreciate, especially in our current times. Okay, it's all planned. It's all planned. It is a globalist, Illuminati, one world government, age of the Aquarius, humanistic New Agers takeover. Article number 7. Did y'all hear about this yesterday? Or I guess now, day before yesterday? 911 services went down for up to an hour across 14 states on Monday. And people were freaking out. Probably the same people that were screaming defund the police. So they had emergencies and nobody could get through. Emergency services in 14 states went down temporarily on Monday, putting lives at risk. Some argued that the outages, which lasted for up to an hour, were caused by technical issues at Microsoft, which provides communication products used by emergency service departments. Others believe that the shutdown was caused by an issue with an emergency telephone service called IntroDo. And before I read any more, isn't that interesting? We know that Bill Gates just stepped down from the head of Microsoft. this past year, this year. But isn't it interesting that Microsoft, Bill Gates, controls just about every single computer that we run? Either you run a Windows or an Android, but most everybody runs Windows. Most every business. And they even run emergency service communications. So Bill Gates even controls communications in emergency situations, which he stepped down now, but he set it up. And now Bill Gates wants to control the vaccinations and control people, wants to control how many people are on the earth. That is a narcissistic little man. Okay, so people were like freaking out about it. Okay? Freaking out. So they need to use that to realize what life will be if they can't call 911 for help. Article number 8 was pretty fascinating, and anybody in Louisiana needs to write their Attorney General and tell him thank you. So this article is from September 25th, and I did a couple of videos about the school's online classroom seeing guns in kids' rooms and suspending them, nurse guns, BB guns, and I talked about that's like illegal search and seizures. Remember we talked about that, like the teachers coming into your house and telling you what you can have in your own house? Well, I think just like the Louisiana Attorney General, I guess since I'm from Louisiana, but he has good sense. Okay, so this little boy, I think this is the 9-year-old little boy. There's been so many of them. Okay, I think this is the 9-year-old little boy. So Louisiana Attorney General investigates the suspension of a student who handled a BB gun in his own home. Woodmere Elementary suspended Kamara Harrison after he picked up a toy gun. Louisiana Attorney General Jeff Landry launched an investigation into Woodmere Elementary School Friday for suspending the fourth grader who responsibly handled and unloaded BB gun during an online class. Kamara Harrison was taking a test when his younger brother, who was playing in the same room, tripped over a BB gun. Harrison got up from his seat, propped the toy gun against his chair, and reassumed his classwork. Harrison told the New Orleans Advocate he was confused when moments later his teacher shut him out of his Google Meet online classroom. School officials contacted Harrison's parents later that day and threatened to expel the 9-year-old boy for having a gun appear in his video feed. And y'all remember I went crazy on this on my video, saying now they're trying to tell you what to do in your house. Landry, the Attorney General, released a statement on Friday calling the school's punishment unconstitutional. The school and the school board have deprived Kamara of 6 days of educational instruction, and that is just the start of the damage done to him and his family, the Attorney General said. I am alarmed by what appears to not only be multiple violations of both the state and federal constitutions, but also blatant government overreach by the school system. So I just wanted to show y'all that. I'm proud of Jeff Landry going after the schools for that. Article number 9. We've got 2 more and we're almost done. This is from September 26th from CNET. Every new Alexa feature Amazon announced for the fall. Hunches, Alexa Guard Plus, and more. From listening to your newborn's cries to switching off your lights without being asked, Alexa is about to become a lot more independent, predictive, and proactive in your home. All I can say is if you've got, quote, a smart house, get rid of all this, okay? All you're doing is inviting spy equipment in your home. And we've already done videos how they are spying on you and gathering information. And article number 10, this is from the AP. This was a very long article, but this is from March 21st, 2020. This was the 5 days after everything got shut down. Everything shut down March 16th. So 5 days later, and they're already declaring how America changed. And we weren't even a week into this. So what did the reporters know? Taking stock of strange days, the week that America changed. Change came to the United States of America during the third week of March in 2020. And remember, we did that video. The Holy Spirit told me on that Friday the 13th that by Monday we would not even recognize America anymore. And here we were. Okay? 6 days later now, how did the AP know? It did not come all at once, though it came quite rapidly. It had happened in other lands. There was no explosion, no invasion other than a microscopic one that nobody could see. There was no fire, no flood, no famine. There was no barbarians at the gates. Change came quickly in most towns and cities because the change was one of withdrawal, a shutting of municipal and regional and national doors. The weather was the same, the streets were the same, the emptiness felt a bit, piece by piece, fell bit by bit, piece by piece, until the most crowded of places became some of the most ghostly. Some stopped going out in the evening, then in the afternoon, then all day. Some stopped getting haircuts, and some stopped cutting hair. Some stopped going out to eat, and some restaurants shut their door except for takeout and delivery. Okay, now this part really made me mad. Okay, it says some people stopped going out. Some people stopped getting haircuts. It was not by choice. Some people stopped going out to eat. It was not by choice. Some restaurants shut their doors except for takeout and delivery. It was not by choice. Most stopped going to school, not by choice. All this was government boot on your neck. Home became the primary landscape. Those who worked outside the home became those who worked in the home or became those who did not work at all, not by choice. It was like 52 pickup, that all sort kind of card game where someone throws up the deck and it lands all over the place. And when the cards are retrieved from the floor, they are the same cards, but in an entirely different order. Some are upside down. Cards can't really get upside down. Some are facing backwards. Some are bent at the edges. Delivering a pizza became an act of bravery. Supermarket shopping became an activity of anxiety, both because of what people might not be able to get and because of what people might accidentally touch. Toilet paper became a source of stress and a recurring joke. Some people came to fear that anger was coming, and others grew deeply angry that fear was coming. Those who could work at home sat by the glow of their computer screens, which became a collage of pixelated portals into other people's living spaces. Tiny images of people's colleagues were stacked row by row as home offices came into shambolic being. Overnight, the verb to Zoom roared out of corporate settings and into basements and kitchens and living rooms where it had never been used before. When change came to the United States of America last week, as that had to China and Italy and many other places already, it swatted some much harder than it did others, depending on where you lived, how much you earned, who you were. When change came, it came in many measurable ways that people who measure things are still beginning to measure. Medical numbers and economic numbers will tell the biggest share of that story. Now, I'm not going to read all of it, but I was just curious how This person wrote, "The week that changed America." It had only been happening for 6 days. And how were they able to project that it was going to be different? Did they read the script? So there's our top 10 for today. A quick recap: New York City is going to use mask patrols, and it's going to be aggressive. Elon Musk says that he and his family are not getting the mask. The majority of Americans say they are not getting the vaccine. Elon Musk said they're not getting the vaccine. The majority of Americans are saying they're not getting a vaccine. British is talking about having their army get involved with their vaccines. National gas prices are going up. Amazon is getting more evasive. 911 calls weren't being taken. Louisiana Attorney General had the guts to say that the classroom is not, the houses are not an extension of the classrooms. So y'all please leave me your comments below and let me know what y'all think. Hold tight to Jesus, because it gets more crazy every day. I love y'all. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.